Hmm?
You learned the camera at the church. You didn't know anything about that before.
Nothing. Nothing.
Trial and error, huh?
Yeah, and she's still learning.
That's
and
right.
we all learn.
Because they come out with so much stuff every 15 minutes, it seems. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Today is 8/12/15. My name is Ratibu Jaycox, and I'm interviewing Artelea Burgess for the Archiving Black History Project in the Inland Empire. Now, will you spell your your name, complete name for me, for the record?
Okay.
And if you look at the camera.
Artelea is Artelea. Last name Burgess, Burgess.
Okay. And thank you so much for this interview. I really appreciate interviewing you. I'll tell you, let's start with something that we have been talking about for the last few years, and that is your spirituality or your relationship with Jehovah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me how that came about?
Well, how it came about, Ratibu, is I start searching, trying to get answers to the Bible. Not what someone was just preaching about, but a true study of the Bible. And I had gone to several churches and would ask, when do we have Bible study? But when I go back for Bible study, it never ended with the Bible. You know, maybe different other things was discussed or whatever, and something, I guess, like prayer service, but it never was a study of the Bible.
Deep study in the Bible.
I wanted to study the Bible. I wanted to know what the Bible was about. And I didn't get that, you know.
So what made you want to know that? What was the first spot that got your attention in that direction? 'Cause that's a transformation.
Yes.
For you and for most people.
Yeah.
And a revelation, transformation, and not only that, but it's a life-changing activity. So what got the spark? What's the first spark?
The spark was the fact that, you know, as we get older, you know, we want to dig deeper into what we're about.
Right.
You know, what does life really mean to us?
Mm-hmm.
And so and through the Bible, this is where we supposed to be able to get what we need or what a spirituality is supposed to be about.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to study the Bible to see what I am supposed to do, how I'm supposed to feel, how I'm supposed to treat people, how I'm supposed to serve God and be a follower of Jesus Christ. So, and several times I've been doing several people's hair that was from Jehovah's, the hall, and one young lady asked me.
Oh, you went there doing your search, or
No.
Oh, you hadn't gone there.
I hadn't gone there, but
Okay.
I have been to several other churches, and a friend of mine, I've been doing her family's hair for years, and I was doing her husband's hair, and she asked me, I tell you, would you like to, you know, study the Bible, which they have been coming by. We know how Jehovah's Witnesses.
They come by.
We come by and knock on your door. And I attempted to have a Bible study several times, but, you know, it ended up maybe I wasn't there or whatever. But when this young lady, and I was comfortable with her. So I told her, I said, okay. I said, but listen, are we going to study the Bible? She says, yeah. I said, I don't want to do the getting on my knees and praying and all that.
You want to study the Bible.
I want to study the Bible. She said, that's what we'll do. And sure enough, some of the questions that I had been thinking about for years, even when my father was a Baptist deacon, and sometimes I would ask him questions, and it would almost be like a debate to me, because it was a logical question, but he told me that, well, that's not for us to know. But if God wrote it, I'm supposed to know it. But he wasn't able to explain it to me. So when I sit down and start studying with these people, the questions that I had in asking, they were able to answer it clearly.
Clear, you
Clear.
saw it.
From the Bible.
And so you studied for a while.
Oh, I studied for about 8 years before
Okay, so the process is you study for a while, then you joined, or what happened to make you now know that you, is that a ritual or anything?
It's a pure study of the Bible.
It's
You know,
just
there's no ritual.
Okay.
There is a ritual. You study the Bible, you come to know God, you know His Son, and you know what you learn to know what you're supposed to do to be dedicated to them. You know, and that's what He tells us to do. In Matthew 28:19 and 20, go therefore and make disciples of all nations.
Right.
And that's what I loved about it too, is because you don't have a particular race of people.
Right.
You have all people there.
People.
All people. And that's what Jesus told us to do. All nations and languages.
Well, how do you feel about going there? Because they knew you as a beautician, they may have known you as a mother, they may have known you as a business person, but they may not have known you as being spiritual too much.
Well,
but you never was. How do you feel with your new transformation or coming into it?
I feel that it's the truth.
Okay.
That's what we all look for, like, you know, in our relationship. You want the truth.
Right.
You don't want to be fooled, and it is your decision to become baptized and serve God and His Son Jesus Christ. You know,
when you do it, it's your decision.
It's my decision.
Nobody's making you. So the day you've been coming here.
No. You know, and that's one of the misconceptions of Jehovah's Witnesses. And you hear a lot of things, negative things,
Right.
but all they have to do is ask.
Right.
All you have to do is ask, and you can get the information. As a matter of fact, now you can go on the website and find out anything you want to know about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right. So where were you born?
I was born in Ida Bell, Oklahoma.
Ida Bell. To who?
To my Jim Jones, to my father and mother.
His name was Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. And she was a Wyatt, a Reevy Wyatt. Reevy Mae Wyatt.
In Oklahoma?
Yeah, and they were married, and I was out of that relationship.
Oh, good. Okay. And then you grew up there, and then you didn't grow up in Oklahoma?
No,
Okay.
5 years old. Well, you know, everyone had to leave those places like that. You know, you was sharecroppers, and it wasn't a whole lot. And then some of them had it, but, you know, like most migrants, you're looking for a better life. And my father and mother came to California, and I think I stayed with my grandmother for about 6 months, maybe a year, and then they came back and got me.
So where did your father work or do when he got out to California? No, before then. He was a sharecropper in Oklahoma. And then when he came here, what did he do?
Well, he was also, we picked cotton. You know, a lot of people, we moved to Riverside here.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of time, I remember him trying to do labor's work, but I know they went to Bakersfield. You know, there's a lot of cotton.
So he went around
Yeah.
migrant workers.
Yeah.
Like what the Mexicans are doing today?
Same thing.
How old is your father would be now? Is he alive? Or?
No.
Okay. How would it
gone.
be now?
He would be somewhere 95.
So he's around the World War II era.
He was born in 1915.
He's been 100 years then.
Yeah.
Right?
So for 100 years old, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because this is 2015. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you moved to Riverside, and did you go to school there? And what did you go to elementary school there?
Elementary.
Middle school and high school?
No, went to elementary. We moved to West Riverside. That's where a lot of the
Rubidale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in that area. And then we, you know, I went to junior high school there. And then at 13, we moved to Fontana.
Fontana? Okay. Fontana.
Mm-hmm.
Fontana. So now, was it North Fontana?
Yes,
Oh.
you wasn't going into the South Fontana.
I didn't think so, but I just want to make sure for the record.
You wasn't going in South Fontana.
Do you know the spot where you used to be, and then
Yes.
how it looks now compared to then?
You know where Costco is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that area right there.
Right in there.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right there. They bought my father's old house to, now that's, what is it? South Highland. And they bought his house, and then right between between Citrus and Cherry is where we lived. My father and mother used to hunt when my dad was out of work. We'd have meat because they'd go hunting and shoot rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
all in that area, that country area.
Yeah.
You don't know that. Well, you hear
Lytle Creek area, all that.
Yeah. And even this North Rialto wasn't here.
That's right.
At that
Yeah,
time.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember all that.
Yeah. So you were in school,
Mm-hmm.
and did you go to college?
No.
You didn't go to college.
No, I didn't.
When did you get the bug for business?
Struggling.
Why did you struggle?
Because I was limited in my education.
Okay.
You understand? So, and you go through life and you're silly at an early age. Things go, make some decisions that's not so good, but you know that you have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and father wasn't big on coming from the South, and like my mother was from the nation of the Choctaw Indians.
Okay.
So therefore, they wasn't big on education. They didn't know how to teach you that you need to go to school. You need to have an education. They wasn't big on that. Those Indians were very docile.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was an Indian. My mother was born in the middle of a situation, so she was raised on the Indian reservation till she was, I think, 13 years old.
And was she total Indian, or did she have black in her?
She had black in her.
She had black in her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she married a man that had black in him, or was he native?
My dad was a mixture also.
Right.
And his family was all colors. From the same mother and father, but they were all colors. He was real dark. He had some sisters and brothers that was high yellow with these eyes and like that. All colors in his family.
In his family.
Yeah.
And then he birthed you. So you're out here now.
Mm-hmm.
You finished with school. You're trying to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have babies at that time?
Oh yeah.
You had children?
I had my first child at 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you don't know what to do and no one to really guide you, but, and my thing, how am I going to feed these kids?
And what did you do?
Well,
What's the first thing you did? I mean, as you thought that you're making money now, making a living, you got to take care of yourself. Your daddy ain't going to take care of y'all.
Mm-hmm. Well, you go from little jobs, you do factory work, you do whatever you can to make a living, and as I say, time go on, and Bill, let me tell you, I didn't know. See, when I had those two babies, I didn't know anything about welfare, so I was worried to death.
Right.
I didn't know anything about
welfare.
welfare.
No income coming.
Didn't have any. When I had my second child, I didn't know that the welfare would give you money, and somebody told me, yeah, they'll give you money. I said, for free.
For free.
For free?
You don't have to work for it.
For free? They give you money? And I went and applied. During that time, all you had to do is fill out one piece of paper. And you got, I think it was about $70-something.
A month.
A month, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then
That's that would
work.
good?
That would work.
That
I'm gonna survive off of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my best off that. And then you start learning, okay, after a while that's not gonna work, so you start working. And I always worked and received welfare because when I calculated my money, if I was working and on welfare, there was more money coming into the house. I wasn't like a lot of people that say I'm not going to work because they'll cut my welfare
Right.
check. I didn't understand that because when I did the math, that was more money coming into my household. So I'm going to go to work.
So then you really didn't report to the welfare,
Mm-hmm.
the money, extra money that you were making.
Yes.
You had sense enough.
To do it, yeah, you can't do that, you go to jail. You know? And as a matter of fact, I got in trouble.
You did get in trouble?
Yeah. And not that I cheated, I had worked. Then I worked for a month. And I got off welfare. Those people came back and told me that I had committed welfare fraud.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you have to pay money back?
Yeah.
You had to pay it back?
Yeah.
So did you ever get back on welfare?
I got back on welfare. That's what I didn't understand. You gonna give me a case for I got off welfare. I was off for about a year.
You were independent.
Independent, and they came and told
But
me.
did you have to go back on welfare?
Yes,
after
I went
that?
back on welfare.
Oh, you went back.
Because no problem.
Because they didn't want you to make this extra money.
I don't know. Yeah, and it
that's
was a month. It wasn't even a month, I think. But you know the sad part, what they told me, Bill. They say you need to be careful of your friends.
So with some of your,
one of my friends.
yeah, they may have been jealous of you.
Yeah.
And so when did you get into the hair business? Or was that your first business?
The hair business was my first business, but I've always used the programs to benefit me. I wasn't afraid to ask if there's a program that I could do, and I went to school for nursing. I think a nursing attendant. I got a certificate in that. I went to school for computer programming. That's where I should have stayed, but I just didn't have.
You were good at it.
The teacher told me if he had given me a letter of recommendation, I could go to work for a computer program, a computer place. But I just didn't have that confidence.
You didn't?
I just didn't have the confidence.
Because...
I was studying programming now.
Oh, yeah.
Programming.
And that was what year?
That was in...
Was in
60, yeah,
yeah,
that was
that's
in like 70, 71. No, it was before then.
Yeah.
It was before then. Yeah. It was before then, in the 60s, late 60s.
So you didn't do that, and you started, now, I want to get into your business now. So when did you go into
hair
business?
I went to school in 1970.
And got a license?
Got my license. Came out, and I don't know if you remember Bob Andrew. I went to work for him. Then I went to Newbreed. I worked for Bob for a year, and he decided he was going to close down. So I went to Newbreed, worked with them for 4 years, and then
You had a chair right in. Were they in the same place they are now?
They were right around the corner. Remember how you walked over that little.
Where Artelea?
Yeah, right there, walked over there, and there was the little.
In the front more so than the side.
More so than around the corner. Yeah.
And that's where you were. And you gained experience in customer relationship there.
And you know what? That's probably the best thing that happened to me, because you learn from people. That's where I got my education, the desire to want more, to do more. People was really, I had friends that they encouraged me. You know, I said, you know, and I asked Bob, that was the owner there, I said, why don't we do a little something else? You know, Constantine, when he was worried about, well, you know, maybe we shouldn't do that because then we have to charge people more. But that's okay.
Yeah.
They like that. You know, when you find something, you know, give them a little something they expect.
Right.
But he wasn't.
That wasn't his
mission,
vision.
Right. So, and then I went to business, took a class at Valley College, small business class. And that's where I learned location.
Right.
And the small things that you do to open a business. And what you have to do to give it a little spark to draw attention to your business. So my education is like, I went to get what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't go there to get a degree. I went there to get what I needed
To do.
to.
You sound like
right.
me.
That's right. Yeah,
So,
that's what I did.
So that's when you moved on Mount Vernon?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You moved on at that location?
You're right next door to the club.
To Jerry.
Where everything was going on then.
Right.
You know, and I had a gentleman that came in to help me decorate the shop. And when I had the shop inspected, the gentleman that inspected the shop, he says, I inspect shops all over San Bernardino County. He said, and I've never seen a shop look like this.
You had the black and white floors, I think, when I met you. You didn't have those?
No, I had carpet. Just a little area where I cut hair was linoleum, and then the rest of the shop was a decorative color carpet, and it went up the wall, halfway up the wall, and then paneling from the rest of it. So
you were laid out.
It was just as cute as it could be.
You were first class. Well, what made people so attracted to you? This is a different subject. It's more emotional now.
Mm-hmm.
People, I mean, since I met you, I mean, I don't know people who are not attracted to you. What do you think draw people to you, to like you, and want to do for you and help you?
I think when you just be yourself. And I didn't try to pretend I knew more than anybody else, you know, because I was looking for information. You know, I needed information to help me move forward. And I just don't think, and you treat people like you want to be treated. You don't try to make anyone look small. Matter of fact, you make them look bigger, and then they're going to help you more.
Help you
know,
more.
So you put all the attention. I find that when you ask questions concerning another person,
right,
you got them.
They open up.
They open up.
They want to help.
Yeah, they want to help.
And so you were able to receive that help.
Oh yeah.
And use that help to further your financial needs for you and your family.
Yes.
And became a star.
I don't know, but I never looked at it like that, but it worked.
It worked for you.
It worked.
Right. So now you moved next door to Jerry. Things are happening right there on Mount Vernon. And what year was that?
I moved in there in 1976.
76. And Jerry had already been there for a while.
For about 3, 4, 5 years, maybe.
3 or 4 years. Because when I first moved here, I'm on my way to meet some people in Palm Springs, but I'm living in L.A. with my cousin. And it was so late, I stopped on Sierra Avenue and the 10, that Motel 6 or 5 or whatever it is right there. And I asked some people, I say, when I wake up tomorrow and during the night, where do I go? And they mentioned 2 places. They mentioned if I wanted to stay in Fontana or Rialto or Edgewood, and if I wanted to come all the way down, I could go to Jerry's. And they gave me directions. And I saw both, but I didn't go in. And then later on, I moved out here, and I saw that. What was going on with Jerry's and that part of Mount Vernon when you moved there?
What was going on well, the money was good in San Bernardino.
Money was good. People were spending money. You
had Kaiser, you had Santa Fe.
Yeah.
You had what else? There was a third.
They were building Norton and
Norton. So you had
construction.
It was money. Yeah, construction was going on. Families had money in their pockets. Everybody was spending money.
They were spending money.
They were spending money.
And you got some of it.
I got some of it. I got some of it.
So you were.
If some of everything was going on in there.
What are some of the things that were
going on? Some of the things, the girls was walking the street.
Okay.
You know, I mean, let's face it. You know, that's anytime you have a popular club or whatever, that attracts.
The girls are making money.
I don't care where you go, they're gonna be there.
And they make them some money.
They make money, yeah.
And then you did told me about people who were selling things.
Yeah, selling.
Vendors.
You had a lot of people that had their little own businesses. They buy clothes, they get their license, and sell clothes out of the trunk of their cars.
Right.
And you had people, what was his name, that had the clothing store on Baseline there.
I don't know.
Oh gosh, I can't
Mina
remember.
may know. But,
But you had people that little small things would make them a decent living.
right.
Yeah, because people had money.
And so you had hotels around there.
There was.
And so the girls
Yeah,
were
girls.
going into they were paying for the rooms. Would they come to you to get their hair?
Oh yeah.
To get their
Yeah.
hair?
Not only the girls, the preachers, the preachers' wives, and pimps, everyone. Everyone
They
was
were
right
coming
there.
to you.
Yeah.
And what kind? So did you see yourself making a good living at that time?
I made a good living. I think I was making, during that time, two people working in the family, I was making that kind of money. If they had a person, the wife and the husband working, I was
making both
I was
of
making
them.
both their salaries.
Wow. So how did that make you feel?
At the time, I didn't really know it when I was doing it, but I knew I was making money, but money didn't. It wasn't like, oh, you really doing things. You making this kind of money. I know I was able to buy my kids what they needed. I was able to buy me but I've always bought homes, even through programs.
Right.
But I was able to buy a couple of homes at the same time,
Car.
and just live life. It was just, I didn't worry about anything.
Let me ask you this. Were you a boss lady? Sort of, because that's what I heard, that you ran things.
In that shop.
But not in the, not
No.
around that area.
No.
You weren't the boss
No,
of that.
no. But if a girl came out and she was standing on that corner and she would stop somebody from coming in that shop, I'd go to her and explain to her, I'm not concerned about your business,
Right.
but please do not stop anyone from coming into my
It's
shop
your business.
for making my money.
And they respected you for
We
that?
respected each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't go out there insulting anyone or anything like that. Those girls, for whatever reason, you do what you do. It's not my business to judge. Did Jesus judge? No. He told you what he thought you needed to know, but he wasn't judging.
Right.
And that's the attitude that you have to have. You don't know what those people are going through.
You don't know what they're going through.
You don't know what they're going through.
Right. So did you counsel with them?
Yeah, if they wanted
Did
to
you
talk.
give them any money?
Yes, if they needed money, yeah.
And did you make contact for them if they needed something else downtown or anything?
If I would tell them the best I could, go to so-and-so and do such and such a thing. That's
So
the only
did you
thing.
know Art Townsend at that time?
Oh, I loved Art Townsend.
But did he help some of these people?
I think he gave advice.
That's what I meant.
He gave advice, yeah.
Who was some of the other men?
People.
And women too, that could help people downtown.
Well,
in
you
different
talking
places.
about Francis's niece.
Right.
What's her name? She was a councilwoman.
Francis.
His niece or cousin.
Oh, you're talking about Valerie.
Valerie Pope.
Yeah.
All these people, they were wonderful people. They didn't beat up anyone and try to judge anyone. If I give you some advice and you took it, that's good.
But you didn't try to embarrass them or change them even.
Well, you know what? You still can't change. I think the desire has to be theirs.
From within them.
You have to want the desire to change.
Mm-hmm.
You have to want something better. I know that's the way I was. Didn't anyone preach to me? Oh, you shouldn't do this or that. People, I had the desire to change, and they saw that, and they helped me. And that's what you do to people. It's not your business what they're.
So if I understand correctly, as people helped you,
Hmm.
you helped others.
You have to.
And did you feel obligated to do that, or you just saw the need? What made you want to do that?
You see the need.
Uh-huh.
You see the need and you want to. You know, you see the need.
And so another event that used to happen when I first came here in the early 70s was the Black Athlete Hall of
No,
Fame.
that was the thing.
And that was the last Saturday in February.
Mm-hmm.
And people dressed up and fixed up and put on lipstick and went out.
Yeah.
And did you get business from that activity?
Oh yeah, because they had to get ready. Oh yeah.
They had to get ready.
They had to get ready. Do you know anybody with a dress this weekend? I'll tell you.
So do you make referrals for people who needed other things besides their hair?
Yeah. Yes.
So do people come to you for?
Yeah, I need a dress. Well, you know, you had boosters during that time too.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah,
and
so
you had to know who was doing what.
Yeah, check with so and so. Maybe they can get you what you need.
Yeah. So that's where I got the impression that you were the boss lady. See, I don't know. This is, I'm telling you now.
Okay,
That's why I'm asking you these
Right.
questions. I
Right.
want to know you. You know, and so the Hall of Fame is going on, and people are dressing up, and people are partying and coming out, and a lot of business and trade is going on. What on Mount Vernon, from what to what would you say this activity?
Ooh.
We'll get to
Well, you remember, let's see, they had, where that church is there at 17th Street, I think there was a club in that little church area. That may have been before I moved to Mount Vernon. May have been it may have been there already and gone. But I guess from 16th Street on down to probably.
Did it go to Baseline?
Yeah.
Went to Baseline and a little further down?
Yeah.
Do you remember the beauty shops on Medical Center south of Baseline? I think it was one down there.
Yeah, the House of Beauty there.
Yeah.
Right next to Garrett's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were down there on the other side, but so you went with the group that moved further. Well, when they first
then
came,
then you had my lady Chris. She was on Mount Vernon.
she was on. So that's as far as blacks were at one time before they moved further west. You know, New Hope and St. Paul and all that came later on the other side of Medical Center. I don't know if you know Muscat, but before they weren't living that far, the early stage.
Well, you see, no, you mean black residents?
Yes, residents.
Oh no, they had all that there in what's that? Well, we called it Muscat.
Yeah.
And what's that street? 16th. Well, back from 16th Street. Magnolia. All that was owned by blacks. All that was owned by blacks.